there have been many things that have been unpredictable in this conference this season, but one of those that has been something you can count on weekend after weekend are the Texas Longhorns and Texas winning baseball games, and they do that yet again. Another top 10 team goes down at Dish Falk. Another top 10 team gets swept at Dish Falk as Texas disposes of a red-hot Auburn Tigers club in all three games. You know, you look at the way this series went, Harrison, obviously starting from game one, lower scoring game. Your ace goes out in this ball game. Jared Spencer, obviously, with the injury, looks like he's probably going to be out for an extended period of time, at least going to miss the start this weekend in the series against Texas A&M. But you look at the way you win. And again, Harrison, we talk about the best teams are the teams that can win the most ways. You look at how they won this ball game. You know, up 3-2. You get the heroics out of the bullpen from Max Grubbs, who goes 4 1/3, 3 hit, no runs allowed. Dylan Volantis doing Dylan Volantis thing. And then following 2 days, the next two games, if you will, really just blowout victories. I mean, Friday, 8-3, yes, but Saturday, you get the big 14-2 win. And it's different guys, Harrison, that are stepping up. You have the Schuessler kid in game 3. You know, and these are dudes that a lot of us have never even heard of. Jonah Williams, who all of a sudden just catches fire. He has 3 RBI, have a day, Jonah Williams.
The two-way.
The two-way, right? Kimball Schuessler have a day in game 3. This Texas team we've talked about all season, Harrison, but we saw it yet again. They are so incredibly deep, and every single time they run into any bit of adversity, it seems, there's somebody new playing hero. And I think the only question, because I'm trying to play devil's advocate here just for fun, the only question I think we're going to be asking ourselves is, did this Texas team peak too early? Because they are so good right now, 33-5 overall, 16-2 in the conference, Harrison. Like, even the biggest of Texas hater, you know, there's a lot of SEC fans out there that hate what they're seeing coming from Austin. You have to admit, whether you love it or hate it, the Longhorns are running the conference on the diamond in year one.
Yeah, Chris, they definitely are. And I think that's what's most impressive is the way that they're doing it, because they're not dominating teams around the SEC week in and week out. They don't have, I don't think, the most, solidified, star-studded, standout team as a whole, most talented team across the board consistently throughout the season so far. But the thing is, Chris, they find a way to win. They're able to win in multiple ways, whether it's on the mound and limiting other teams' offense's production and just out-hitting them a little bit. They're able to go score double-digit runs, and they're able to do a little bit of both. I mean, they're able to play clean defense, steal bags, and, do what they need to do when it's necessary. And it's helped them a lot, I think, learn about who they are and the adversity they've kind of overcome. What's interesting, Chris, is a lot of their top wins, Chris, all these ranked wins, their teams that they're beating, they've all been at home, it feels like, Chris. So that's one thing to keep of note. And like you said they might be peaking too early. Is Texas peaking too early? I mean, I don't know if I would say it's that, but I'd say, you have to keep an eye out for them, because the depth's going to continue to get tested. And talking to sources close at Texas, very close to Texas for sure, and, understanding, how they feel the same way. Like, our depth's going to get really tested, and people that cover Texas baseball tell me the same thing, like, you're going to know how deep Texas is, the rest of the season with the injuries to, Max Ballou and now Jared Spencer, two of their best players, you can say, arguably. Max Ballou, a preseason Golden Spikes watch list candidate, and then Jared Spencer, Friday night ace. I mean, as, consistently elite of a level he's been playing at this season and setting the tone on Friday night. I mean, you're going to learn a lot about the Texas team the rest of the way. But, I mean, you got to be really impressed and happy with what you've seen if you're a Texas fan for sure, because like I said, you're not I don't think the most talented team across the board in the SEC, but you have a lot of really talented pieces step up when they need to. I mean, you talk about stepping up, Chris, like Dylan Volantis and Max Grubbs. I mean, we talk about all season long, but I continue to think that Dylan Volantis doesn't get enough praise that he deserves to be able to do what he's doing, Chris, as a freshman in the SEC, and just the roles that he's played in. I mean, Max Grubbs too, just kind of an opposite. He's a veteran, it feels like. And, to go in after Jared Spencer's a short start and to just go over 4 innings, 3 hits, no runs. I mean, just super impressive. And Auburn just got beat in game 1, I think was the biggest thing for me, Chris. They just got outplayed. It wasn't like they played bad. Sam Dutton had another great outing. He's been a huge, I think, tone setter for this Auburn team week in and week out. And then, game 2, like I said, Texas wins in different ways. They're able to outscore, almost put up double-digit runs. And you have, Kimball Schuessler, who has a 3-for-4 day with, his bat that he has, explodes when he makes contact with it. It feels like just barreling balls constantly, and able to pull away there, and then putting up double-digit runs, Chris, and obviously limiting Auburn's production in the offense. They really proved it, I think, in all 3 different ways in each of the games this weekend, Chris. And it was really interesting and fascinating to see. I did say, I don't know if you remember in our preview, I said it's gonna be interesting to watch how Alvarez pitches in that Sunday role, and just he's been good, but like against the Texas team on the road, he obviously really struggled going 1 inning, 5 runs, 4 earned. And then you put the bullpen in a tough spot, and it's all hands on deck on Sunday anyways. But, after your starter can only go 1 inning, it just puts you in a really bad spot on the road in the SEC after you're looking, down in an 0-2 hole after losing game 1 and game 2, and just being able to try to claw out of that. I mean, it's something tough to do, let alone on the road, and let alone against a team that's able to win multiple ways at home against very good teams.
A couple things there to unpack, Harrison. I agree with a lot of the points you made. You mentioned the schedule. That was a very much hot topic of conversation over the weekend, especially on social media between Longhorns, Aggies, every SEC fan base. I made some comments as well. Here's the reality of it. You take nothing away, absolutely nothing away from what Texas has done to this point. But you made the point as well, and we should also acknowledge, has Texas benefited from having these big series at home? Yes, I think it's advantage to play at home. Now, Granted, again, they've gone on the road, a very underrated series win at Kentucky. Give them credit there. They've had some nice performances on the road, but it was more funny than anything, I think, the madness of social media. And it just seems like when Texas wins, social media just sort of unravels. Maybe it's just Aggies more than anything that unravel. We'll talk more about them in a second, but I thought that was really funny. Billy Lucci and company got him going over the schedule chatter for sure. And obviously I was poking holes, playing devil's advocate. I don't even know that they peaked too early. I think, Harrison, like if I was trying to find things just to be on the contrarian side of things, I would maybe bring that up. But this Texas team, Harrison, the best teams I've ever seen, whether it was Major League Baseball, college baseball, heck, high school baseball, the best teams I've ever seen have had this win anyway kind of mantra. Like, no matter what happens, win anyway. Good or bad, win anyway. Starter goes 2 2/3, gets knocked out, he's injured, win anyway. It's a 0-0 game going to the ninth, win anyway. It's 14-13 or whatever. It's a high-scoring game. Got to get a big knock. Offense has got to carry you. Win anyway. They're just winning anyway every single game, and all the right buttons are being pushed. Give that entire coaching staff credit and give those players credit. I mean, again, it feels like it's a different hero every single night. You mentioned, Harrison, guys like the Valantises and the Floreses and the Rodriguezes. There's some guys, the Galvans. There's some household names that are stepping up and doing it game by game. But then you've got the Schuesslers. You've got the Jonah Williamses of the world. Like, you've got guys, new heroes emerging night after night after night, it seems. And that really, I think, is what separates good teams, great teams, and championship caliber teams. Texas is playing like a championship caliber team right now, not just SEC regular season wise, but national title conversation. That's what's been so impressive to me, that win anyway mentality, that no matter what happens, no matter what adversity they face, and maybe you give all the credit to Jim Schlossnagle. I think you give a lot of credit, again, to the core nucleus in that locker room. How about the entire coaching staff? How about just the program aura, the belief at Texas? Because they're exuding it night after night. They expect it to work out. They expect to win, and they're doing that. So, I mean, it's wildly impressive to watch what they're doing, and, we'll see if they can keep it going, but it's the best team, and it's the best team in the SEC, best team in college baseball.
Yeah. And Chris, just one more note. I think for the offense, like, that's the thing that's most notable and stands out to me is, like, you only have, 4 guys. I mean, I know I say only, but you only have 4 guys batting over 300 for Texas, but you have just a deep lineup, and all 9 guys that qualify. I'm going to include Max Blue in this just because of, the number of games and, the importance of role he plays at Texas. when this season, when he's been healthy, obviously, I mean, everyone's over 20 RBIs except for one guy that qualifies. That's A-Rod, who's been obviously missed a few games himself. But, you got you guys that are batting, upper 250s to 280s and 290s that all have 20 plus RBIs and can produce and are executing and becoming in clutch when they need to be. And that's the biggest thing. It's not like this lineup, has holes or just, is everyone's batting over 300 or everyone's just power hitter. Everyone can hit home runs. I mean, Tommy Farmer IV doesn't have any home runs. I mean, but he's able to have 20 RBIs and just be able to come in clutch when he needs to be for his team. And it's, who's able to step up today. I mean, talk about stepping up, Chris. Jonah Williams, like you mentioned, the two-way guy that came in as a football commit and is just super uber talented. I've talked to Texas coaching staff and just uber talented and just an athlete. He's able to put his talent on display and had I think a really impressive weekend. I mean, 3 RBIs, goes 5 for 9, batting over 500, and just the talent that he is. I mean, he might be able to play all 4 years, 3 plus, whatever you want to call it, both ways. I mean, I think he's that talented, Chris. So that's something obviously worth noting, and just how he plays the rest of the season, the number of, at bats he gets, but really impressed what I saw from him, and, just adds the depth that Texas, could use, but also, I mean, kind of has the riches of, in their lineup with production throughout.
And before we move on from this one, Harrison, from the Auburn side of things, I still think Auburn's a good club. I think they ran into a buzzsaw in Texas. The one guy we have to highlight from their side, Ike Irish did everything he could to make sure that Auburn got a victory or won the series. 4 home runs in 3 games over the weekend. Guy seeing a beach ball. Obviously, it's not enough, but man, that kid left it all out there, and he is sure fun to watch.
Yeah, I mean, he is the core nucleus of Auburn baseball right now in this team. I mean, he has a home run in game 1, and then 2 home runs in game 2, and then a home run in game 3. I mean, just he's seeing beach balls at the plate. One of the most talented guys, I think, in the SEC around. He had that slow start to start this season. I think he was like 0 for 11, but he's looks like he hasn't missed a beat now. He's made up for that, obviously, and if Auburn's going to win, it's going to go through Ike Irish and then Cooper McMurray. Cooper McMurray obviously had a struggling weekend, one that he wants to put in the back pocket and not see again. But, I mean, it's just Auburn's, I don't think, going to go deep without Ike Irish performing at a high level, which he did this weekend. Just it wasn't enough for Auburn.